Welcome, Remington students, to a brand new mod. This is Dr. Rosie Branciforti, and I am your English composition instructor. This, of course, is the textbook that we would be using for this mod. Make sure that you have the right edition. You can figure this out by going to the syllabus, and you'll be able to see the edition that we're using, as well as the publisher, which is the author, which is Vandermeer, Meyer, Rice, and Shrink. So I've decided to put together this short presentation just to get around the classroom a bit. You may already know this, but I've found that sometimes revisiting the classroom is probably a good step to take at the beginning of every mod. The first thing I want to draw your attention to is the news forum. You will find this to the right of the menu bar. It'll be all the way over here at the top of your screen. The news forum is where I post information, where I post a statement that says grading is done for whatever week we have just completed. Check this area every time you visit the classroom. Important information will definitely be located there. So the next thing that I want you to take a look at would be the course menu, which is on the left-hand side of your screen. This is as it appears in our classroom, and each one of these items is important to you. The calendar is the first one, and that will have upcoming dates, and it actually has a 3-month calendar once you click on that. The grade book is obviously where your grades will appear, as well as where you can click on to make sure that your assignments have been submitted. Messages, if you want to send messages between students, between each other, obviously. Assignments, you can click on that and you'll be able to view all the assignments that are due in the class. Forums, this link is to all of the discussion forums. Quizzes would be all of the quizzes that you're responsible for in this class. Resources are library and APA information. Participants will be a list of the classroom participants, and the outline is basically what we'll be covering in class. Week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 are the links that you will click on, and once you click on this, you will get a list of everything that is required of you, right from the readings down to assignments, as well as quizzes, as well as discussions. So basically in week 1 you'll see a list that'll show something like week 1 written assignment, the due date and the day, week 1 the reflection, the due date and the day, etc., etc. In week 5 you'll see something just a little bit different. You won't see a written assignment and a reflection. You'll see what is referred to as final exam part 1. Part 1 is I believe it's 20 or 25 questions that you will have to answer and then submit. Final exam part 2 is actually the essay, the completed essay that you're going to be working on starting from week 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's the complete essay, edited, proofread, etc., etc. So that's a little bit different in week 5. The forums. Forums are basically the news forums where you'll see the general news and announcements. I talked about that already. Questions for the instructor. Click on this link and you can use this as a place to ask me questions. Do not ask personal questions in this area. I have to protect you as well as other students, so please do not put personal questions there. If you have a personal question, please use my Remington email and I will be more than happy to answer it. Questions in this area would be something like, how many words does this assignment have to be? Does this assignment have to be typed? Etc. So things like that. Questions about the assignments and discussions. That's what would go there. The Student Lounge is another general forum, and this is a place where you can exchange commentary with your fellow students. This is not based on course content. It's on an informal level. I do ask you, of course, even though it is informal, it is within the context of an English class, so please spell and grammar check. Thank you. It is an English class. So, moving on to the other forums that are actually graded, the first one is going to be the bio post, and that's in week 1. And in this, you are just going to do a brief bio and just exchange with each other who you are, where you're going, what you're going to do. In discussion 1, this discussion 1 is kind of interesting. It's different. You're going to have a brainstorming game. And I've only copied here the actual words of the discussion. I did not copy the 3 shapes that should go here. And I purposely did that because I want you to see it first on the discussion board. But this is interesting because we're going to be looking at something and writing down what we see, and then everybody will be doing the same thing. And then we can come back and look at it and take a second look at it and see how possibly our view has changed on it. So please read this caveat. Do not read your classmates' responses before posting, because I want your impression of what you see, so that way in part 2 we can have a good exchange of what you saw and what the other students saw, and basically take a good look at what everybody saw or did not see. A good thing to remember, discussion number 1, every week the initial response is due on Wednesday, and then your responses are due throughout the week, Thursday, Friday. Do not wait till Sunday to do your responses. I want you in and involved with the class. Remember, one of my tips is to be involved in the class 5 days a week. That's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to be involved with your classmates. And that's how we create a sense of community in this class as well. Discussion number 2, as I go to the next slide, is another, it's one of my favorites that I have in this class. And it's basically taking an important place or an event from your childhood and then write a fictionalized story about it. Here is your opportunity to change, or as my aunt used to do, actually change stories and say that yes, that actually did happen. You can make any type of change that you want. Just write about 250 words. Make sure that you use specific concrete details which help make the place vivid and your perspectives clear. It's important to use these type of descriptive words because you definitely want your reader to see and to feel, to smell, all those 5 senses that we have, the sensory senses, smelling, tasting, feeling, hearing, etc. So these are the type of things that you want to incorporate in this so that it comes alive. Again, this discussion 2, every week will be due on Friday. That's the initial post. And then your responses to classmates can happen on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And remember, class ends on Sunday. The important thing to remember about discussions is that discussion 1 is due on Wednesday. Discussion 2 is due on Friday. Responses are due throughout the week. Last date possible to post is Sunday. Remember that you need to respond to at least 2 in each forum, and also watch your word count. Your initial response should be a minimum of 250 to 300 words. So watch your word count. Make sure that you check before that you hit that submit button the following things. Number 1, have I met the word count? Number 2, have I spell checked? And number 3, have I checked all the grammar? That is important. That's what I'm going to be graded on. One more thing. Starting this mod, discussion posts that are posted after Sunday 11:59 will not be accepted. So all posts must be done within the week. So keep that in mind. I don't want you to lose points. The next thing we're going to discuss is the quizzes. Every week that there is a quiz. The quiz is open from Monday till Sunday, so keep that in mind. And then on week 5, we talked already about there is no quiz. It's actually the final exam, part 1. Make sure that you complete that before Sunday, which is when class ends. Okay, typically on a week you would see this, exactly what you see right now. Your bio post, policy acknowledgement, week 1 due Sunday, your week 1 lesson file. This particular file is a lesson. It's discussion about whatever we are doing for the week. In this particular week, you can text, you can download the text or audio, which is cool. So if you like to read it, that's great. If you just like to see it, that's wonderful as well. And then you need to read, and you'll see the reading listed. In this case, you're doing chapter 1, 2, 12, and 13 in your textbook. And then, using that information, you're going to do discussion 1, discussion 2, the reflection, which is due Sunday, and the written assignment, which is due Sunday as well. Okay, up at the top of your screen, you'll see blue buttons, and one of them is resources, located on the top menu. Once you click on resources, you'll see a button that is titled Library Resources. Once you click on that, you'll go to a list of items, and these items are the research link. And once you click on this link, you'll actually go to the online library. Underneath research link is writing in APA format. When you click on this link, you can go to things such as sample essays, APA information, as well as the citation machine. This link here, you can click on that and you'll go to some free software. It is free. And this link here is Ask the Librarian. And you can click on this link for library help. So I'm going to review each of those steps that I discussed. When you click on the library link and you go to research link and you click on that and go into our library, you will get to databases such as InfoTrack, ProQuest, Google Scholar, eBury, Encyclopedia Britannica, and MSN and Carter. These are the items that you use to do research. You'll be conducting your research in this class. You'll be searching for sources, and these are the places that you would go. Obviously, you'll be needing articles for most of the assignments in this class, so the best bet is to go to InfoTrack as well as ProQuest. InfoTrack, by the way, has passwords that are required, so before you click on an actual InfoTrack link, just check, make sure you jot down the password so that you will have it once you click into the database. Okay. The next link that I talked about was writing in the APA format, and in here you'll see things like APA style, APA formatting basics, APA sample essay, and the citation machine. And the reason we talked about the citation machine is because in week 2 you will be required to use this to create citations and reference entries for one of your assignments. So use that. I will tell you this, in my experience, the citation machine does a good job, but you still need to check the APA guidelines, which are up here, to make sure that the citation machine has created the reference entry correctly. I did one today, and I noticed that it did not capitalize the word American for the title, and American needs to be capitalized. So keep that in mind. So please check it before you actually submit your work. There's also information in this area about plagiarism, which we have to talk about. I do not accept plagiarism. The school does not accept plagiarism. So be very careful about what you find online, what you find in a database. Make sure that you cite within your text as well as in a reference page entry. And we'll talk more about that as we go through the weeks of how to do that correctly. Okay, and moving right along. I talked about this on the announcements on the on the right side of the screen. It's under latest news, and in our classroom today so far, I've put something about grading comments, and you click on here and you can get the full text. I've also put here success tips, and you can click on that to get the full text. I do strongly suggest that you read this success tips, because in there I really set out and set up how to be a successful student. Most of you already know the things that I've written in there. It's just a question of putting them in practice. I know how difficult life can be. I know all of the obstacles and excuses and problems that we come across every week. However,